This week, Thugger gets free, Meg the Stallion lies, and Ari Lennox wants off her label. Busy week. Let's get into it.
The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. Episode 68 is live. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode. Man, hopefully y'all had a great week. Mine was a very crazy adventure. I went sneaker shopping in the UK and didn't come away with anything. I got nothing this week. If any of the people watching this show is from the UK, could y'all please put in the comments some sneaker shops I can go to get me some sneakers, bro? Like, I'm trying to get some cool Nikes or some Jordans, but I'm also trying to get some fire ass Asics or some New Balance. And I only went to one sneaker store, and I went to two sneaker stores, and they just didn't really have what I was looking for. And that hurt my feelings because I had really wanted to get me some new shoes and couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger. And I know it's high top season. I'm a high top ass nigga. I love high tops, and I couldn't find high tops anywhere. So if you guys are from the UK, if you live in the UK, I don't care where it is, because I'm willing to travel. I'm a full-time content creator. I'm willing to travel. Put in the comments some sneaker shops that I can go to that aren't super expensive. I mean, I want some reasonable price shoes. I want some reasonable price shoes. But I also want to get like some stylish sneakers. I seen a few pair, but some of that stuff I couldn't pull the trigger on because I just didn't have multiple shops I could go to compare. I live in Lewisham, so if that helps. But give me some places to go where I can find some fire sneakers, man, and be happy, because I like more variety. The shops I went to didn't have as much variety as I wanted them to, so it is what it is. So with all that being said about my sneaker shop experience, or me trying to travel out to go to sneaker shop, let's go ahead and get into it.
New releases.
So I'm going to go ahead and drop you guys. I know Cornucopia came out this week. I had some thoughts. I dropped my critique on Patreon first, and I'm going to put it here next. And then I'm going to actually talk about the Freddie Gibbs stuff. I think Tyler made a hell of an album. I think this is probably one of the best albums in his catalog. Let me just get this out the way first. I think the album is a bit chaotic because sometimes the way things go, the way things kind of move in the album, it just sounds weird. And when I say not weird in a bad way, it's sequencing, and the way sometimes songs jump from another song, it just kind of gets out of hand. But I seriously enjoy some of the transitions and some of the ways that he actually goes about doing this album. Just off of like 2 listens, it's one of my favorite Tyler albums of all time. Once we get to like Darling I and start getting into like going all the way through that run, all the way through Sticky, to me was like my favorite run of the album. Like that run gave me so many cool things from him, and how he's thinking now and out of his brain. He's kind of just got into like this more mature bag that we asked for our artists to give us, and I love it, man. The Judge Judy record is phenomenal to me. I think this Judge Judy going into Sticky I like that transition into that song. Take Your Mask Off is probably one of the realest songs that an artist could have put out this year. Because I don't know who he talking to, or he might be talking to everybody. But a lot of those things that he was saying in that album, I took to myself and I was like, oh shit, I need to take my mask off. Because he was speaking to a lot of real shit that we ask artists to do on a regular basis. The production, I think a lot of people are really hung up on the production. But I said on Instagram, and I'll say it here, he is saying some of the most realest shit over some of the most nicest beats. I think it gets nice later on in the album. Like when the album first starts, he does have a little old school Tyler, probably early Tyler, like maybe Odd Future Tyler, instead of a lot of people look at it him doing like a lot of Igor shit in the beginning of the album. I think that's more Odd Future than anything. But I think when we jump ahead to Thought I Was Dead and Like Him and Balloon, which Doechii killed her feature on here. When we start getting into those songs, man, it solidified the album for me. It let me know that Tyler was just he's on a different type of time. A lot of people are jumping off of a roof and saying that this is a classic album. I'm not ready to take it to that level yet. It's great. Solid piece of work. Classic? No. Album of the year? I'm not ready to give it up. I'm not ready to give that up to Tyler yet. I still think Blue Lips is still the album of the year for me. All right, so Freddie Gibbs dropped his new album, You Only Live Once, 13 tracks, 37 minutes. He did not really give us a lot of time to sit with this album coming out, which I like. I like the fact that he didn't have a long rollout. He just dropped a number where he was supposed to be Freddy Krueger. You call that number, and it basically told you what was going on with the album. He actually had Robert Englund do the voice from Freddie, so I thought that was fire. But he didn't go through a whole long rollout period. I thought that nigga was done with music, and he ended up coming out with a pretty solid album. The vibes are very different on this album from what you normally get from Freddie Gibbs. He's not working with Alchemist or Madlib on this album, which I think is cool, and it's different because the last few albums we was getting from him, he was working real heavy with both of those producers. Freddie Gibbs can rap. Let's not gloss over that. Freddie Gibbs is Freddie Gibbs, and he can fucking rap his ass off. I think he's one of the best ones out. This was a lot different because it talked a lot about him transitioning from music. This album actually talked about stuff where it came with like what his next steps are going to be after he's done rapping. He even gave us a song called On the Set where he's dedicating to all the rappers that we lost and stuff like that, which I thought was cool. I thought that was really cool. The album's just okay. It's nothing to go crazy over. I'm a Freddie Gibbs fan. I think he's had probably one of the best 5 album runs out of any artist when you go all the way back to like Freddie. And I think he was putting in a ton of work. I like this album. I compared it to Soul So Separately. It's not even on that level of Soul So Separately. I think Soul So Separately had so much more production value and it had a lot more money put in this. This just felt like a quaint little intimate album that he just wanted to put out and show people he was still doing music. Because a lot of times when you ask Freddie on Twitter about music, he was like, I'm retired, I'm done. And this is really him talking about those types of things. I wasn't expecting him to drop an album this year. I would have thought he would have waited until next year to actually put out something major. Maybe he just felt the itch he needed to scratch, and that's what he did. I'm not mad at this album at all. It's not one of those things where I'm going to say, oh, this is like the best album in the world. But it is something solid, and I have played it quite a few times. It's kind of hard to go to this when Chronocopia's been out, and I've been playing Chronocopia nonstop because it's so many different levels of what's going on with those songs. But great try by Freddie Gibbs. I think he put out a very solid project. I think you guys will enjoy it. Go out and listen to You Only Live Once by Freddie Gibbs. Won't be disappointed.
Music news.
All right, let's get the obvious out the way. Young Thug has been released from prison. He's been released from jail. He took a plea deal on Halloween of all things. Thursday on Halloween, October 31st. Thug got free. He took a plea deal. Here are some of the things that they're saying he has to abide by. He ended up getting 15 years probation. He's banned from Metro Atlanta. Has to do 4 presentations/concerts a year against gang violence. He can travel for work and make music. No contact with gang members or co-defendants except for his brother and Gunner. And he cannot promote gangs in any way. There's a few other things that's a part of that deal that I didn't read. I'm just trying not to be super newsy about it. But first of all, congratulations to Thugger, man. I'm glad he's free. He got free. I'm glad that he got through this whole ordeal because if we're being honest, this case was a mess. The whole thing was a mess. The state really tried to put one over on him, and they tried to take him out. I'm happy that he got free. I really think, and this is my personal opinion, that deal it's a trap. That deal, 15 years probation seems like a long time. I don't know if he's going to have to serve that whole 15 years or not. It just feels like they just try to put him in a situation where anything he does that's just like minor is gonna put him, because I think on the back end, if he violates his probation, I think he gets 20 years. So you think about that. Think about what Thug raps about. Think about his catalog. Think about what he's used to when it comes to doing music. It looks like he's going to have to be real careful about how he moves, which I don't think that's such a bad thing. Maybe that'll give him some time to, what he spent 2 years in prison. So those 2 years already gave him an opportunity to kind of get the drugs out of his system, kind of a rehab situation. And that's a good thing. If he does anything out of the way, and this is just my opinion, if he does anything out of the way, they got him. They got him. But I understand the fact that he took the deal because he wanted to come home. He pleaded to the judge and told the judge, hey, like, I want to get back to my kids. I want to get back to doing this. So at least they gave him a situation where he could still travel and do music. So this changes his music. This changes the way that he usually presents himself also. Is that a bad thing, though? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that he's talented enough to adjust and be able to make music outside of what his typical songs are like. I think the features that he's going to be doing with artists, particular artists, are going to change. Like, I think he's going to be doing, he's going to get more Drake features. He's going to get more Future features. Like, he's going to be able to do features with people higher on the food chain than typical. He's just not going to be able to do the type of music that we're used to from him. The more I look at what he got in this plea deal, the more I think that they put him inside of a box to get him to trip up and get those 20 years. I don't know if he has the structure, the infrastructure to keep him from slipping up. Like, does he have people around him that's going to keep him from getting into trouble? Does he have people around him that's going to keep him away from the gang affiliated people, or, you know what I'm saying, the type of people he's been known to deal with? We have to remember this nigga came from the trenches. So certain people are going to try to get around him. He's been around certain people for a very long time. Is this going to change the way he moves? Which I hope it does, because I don't want to see him get 20 on his chest. You feel me? It just feels like some of the stuff that he got in this plea deal feels very, very trappy. And I feel like he's going to have to tiptoe around a lot of different things to be able to live the kind of life he wants to live. Also, does the label care about him? You have to remember, Kevin Liles was the head of 300 and he's gone. Now, I said this in a previous video when Kevin Liles left, how important he was. Kevin Liles was one of those executives that cared about the artist. He went to testify for Thug. He testified for his character. He ain't got that no more at the label. Like, when he goes back to 300, he ain't got that no more. So what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? The people who've taken over the roster and the label, are they going to be able to put things in place to keep him from going back to prison? Is that their responsibility? You know what I'm saying? Or is he going to be a responsible enough adult to stay away from the bullshit? Because at the end of the day, it really comes down to what kind of person you are, and if you really want to stay out of prison. It's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to this, to Thug being out of jail. I'm happy that he's out. I'm happy that he's able to get back to his kids and his woman and his life, but it's too many things that could trap him into going back, and it's a lot of temptation out here when it comes to being in the music industry and being around certain types of people and the type of characters that hang out at these different spots. He got to be careful on where he hangs out at this point. Again, happy that Thugger got free. I just don't know if he's going to be able to make it. So Ari Lennox wants to be off of Dreamville, and this comes as no surprise to me. In a recent rant she had on Instagram, she went on and on about how the label didn't take care of her, how she's not promoted correctly, how she has to pay for her own promotion. I say, welcome to the music industry. I feel bad. Let me preface it by saying I feel bad for her. I think that this whole situation is terrible. I hate that she's going through this because I'm an Ari fan. I think she's very talented. But I also understand that when you sign these deals and you sign these contracts, man, they got no love for you. They have no love for you. a lot of people are saying that this is on J. Cole. I'm not going to put it on J. Cole just yet because he never really spoke about it. And I don't know if they've actually had conversations about what's going on. But a lot of the problems that she's having has a lot to do with her not being promoted correctly. They dropped her video Smoke, which portrays her as someone going to an asylum and escaping. And she's talking about how she wants to get out of that. She doesn't want to be the face of mental health or being crazy, which I can get that. If you see the video, I get it. I get where she's coming from. I think a lot of times people put her in the box of being just a mentally ill person, and that's her whole thing. And it's like she's way more talented and above that. The frustration has always been there. Me as a fan, the frustration has been there too, because I'm like, she should be dropping more and she doesn't. And I don't know what happens behind the scenes like that. So it could be more about her work ethic, but I doubt that I always take the artist side. I think that she has a lot of stuff that she wants to do, but I also understand that, like, when it comes to industry politics or being able to drop an album or drop music, sometimes the label be bullshitting. Sometimes the label doesn't believe in you. And it feels to me that the label don't believe in her. The label has no faith in her. They don't have any faith of her actually growing as an artist. It feels like they want to put her in this shea butter baby box. Like, this is what you are. And she wants to get past that. And I feel like she is bigger than that. I said on Instagram, I was like, I'm not surprised they don't push her. Dreamville doesn't push their artists like they should anyway. And she said in that rant as well that they don't believe in that kind of promotion. They believe in giving a Instagram post and there you go, which is kind of stupid, because you have an artist who is super talented that can put out, that vocally is stronger than a lot of singers that are out now, and you don't give her the opportunity to make the type of music she wants to make. That's garbage. She also said in her rant that she doesn't have a team. She hasn't built up enough people around her to be able to help figure this shit out. And that kind of falls on you as an artist. If you want to be able to get put out there, you got to build a team that's undeniable, that's going to make sure that you're out here and you're getting pushed. If you depend on the label to do everything, you're going to be ranting just like you're ranting now. She said she didn't want to go to social media to do this, and she's been trying to get away from social media because of the addiction, or how she's always, it doesn't make her feel good. And then in that rant, she also said that this is the only way that I'm being seen outside of just a video. Like, she has to keep social media. So she's in a bit of a trap, because she wants to get rid of social media because she hates what she sees, but she can't, because that's the only way she can be seen. It's fucked up. But again, if you didn't build your own team to be able to get your stuff out there, that's on you. You have to be able to go above and beyond the label, because the labels these days don't do their job. They don't give a fuck. They're going to treat you like the talent that you are and not give you any kind of shine that you're looking for. Not for real, unless you're up there. And different labels do different things. Again, I had a conversation not too long ago. We were talking about the whole thing about her and SZA and her being as big as SZA. The difference between Ari Lennox and SZA is SZA has a lot more freedom to be able to create, be able to make the type of music that she wants to make. I think at Dreamville, she doesn't have that freedom. She doesn't even feel like she's a person that gets the push that she deserves. And believe me, that happens with a lot of the talent on there. Earth Game just dropped the album. You know how I found out about Earth Game dropping the album? Somebody told me about it. I didn't see anything on social media. I really didn't see them on the list of like upcoming albums that's gonna drop. Somebody was like, "Hey man, Earth Gang." I was just like, oh, "Okay," like great. They don't push their artists enough, and they don't. Dreamville has not been the best when it comes to their roster. They have so much talent on that roster, and it feels like they don't even care. It's just like, we'll just put you guys on Return of the Dreamers in 2025, and they can hear you then, and then it's good from there. They don't push their artists the way they should, and I don't know who that's on. I don't know if that's on J. Cole. I don't know if that's on Interscope. I just know that they don't push their talent the way they should, and they should. These people, Jid should be way bigger than who he is. Kaz, Omen, Boz, Earth Gang, Ari. They have a talented roster that they don't use. They don't care. It's like these people are put in the trash and nobody really gives a fuck about them. They're the land of the misfit toys. I don't get it. T-Pain took time out to drop a little bit of a paragraph or comment and said, yo, I was in the same place. There's a way to maneuver around this and be independent. Let me let you in on a little secret that you guys might not know about. If you couldn't build a team when you were on a label, how can you build a team being an independent artist? She didn't even figure out the way to build a team while she was on a label to get her out there like that. It's not easy being independent. Like, that's the thing a lot of people don't tell you. You got to do everything. And any misstep that's it. That's going to fuck you up. You have no label to blame. You have nothing to fall back on but yourself. Being an independent artist takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of stumbles and falls. Just being an independent content creator it's hard. It's not easy. For people saying, yo, you need to go independent, well, no, I don't feel like she needs to go independent at all. She needs a label. She needs a label that cares, that's going to push her and give her the opportunity to be able to make the type of music she wants to make. Ari Lennox will not make it as an independent artist. It takes way more than just, when you're an independent artist, you can't just sit up here and complain about it because it's on you. And I don't feel like she doesn't have the wherewithal. I don't feel like she has the wherewithal to be able to go through that kind of stuff and be able to figure it out. Like, you can hear people say that they're going to help you when it comes to being independent, man. But honestly, the responsibility falls on you. It falls on you for everything. And you can't even handle the label not doing stuff right. What do you think is going to happen when you don't have the type of team to be able to get the music that you want to make out to the masses? It's just going to be even more depressing. So I just feel like maybe she should shift herself over to another label that's going to take care of her and is going to give her the freedom that she needs to be the type of artist she wants to be. That independent stuff is just, everybody's just not built for it. It's not an easy transition. It's just not. And if you don't have a team to come with you when you leave your label or when you leave your deal, you're going to be stuck in the mud. Not everybody is Meg the Stallion. Meg the Stallion took a chance. She has Rock Nation Management, of course, which helped her get this independent deal through Warner. But I don't even see Ari making those kinds of deals right now to figure out what she can do to take the next step. If the label lets her go, what is she going to do? Where is she going to go? How are they going to take care of everything? Just listening to the rant, it just makes me feel like she's very unprepared and she doesn't have a clue of what to do after everything happens. So I'm going to put a pin in this. I'm going to just see what happens later on. I hope Ari gets a chance to go somewhere where she's loved and taken care of, and I hope that Ari gets a chance to be able to make the type of music she wants to make. But I just don't think going independent is going to be right for her and her situation. All right, finally, I had to talk about this because you motherfuckers on social media are crazy. A clip of Meg from Meg's documentary, in her own words, dropped where she talked about lying to Gayle King about having sexual relations with Tory Lanez.
Yes, bitch, I lied to Gayle King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, she's always gonna talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I fucked this nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
Why do we care? Why are we still dragging this? This is the dumbest shit ever, bruh. Can't we let this shit go? There are a lot of people on social media that's like, oh my God, she lied about this. So what else did she lie about? Let me give you guys a brutal reality that you might not know. The same people who are talking this shit about Meg Thee Stallion lying about having sex with Tory Lanez, y'all have done the same thing. Either you lied about fucking somebody, you lied about not fucking somebody, you've lied about it too. I'm not saying everybody, But there's a lot of people out here who are being very hypocritical when it comes to this situation. I'm tired of this. I thought we were finished. We were past this. I thought she made the album Megan and we were finished. We were done. I thought it was over with. And we're still talking about it. I have not watched the documentary because honestly, I don't care. I don't want to see what she was going through when it came to this whole thing with Tory being in court. I wanted us to be done and moved on to her making music and her having her being an independent artist and her having all of these great things going on. I just want the music, bro. And we're still stuck on this whole thing with Tory Lanez and her lying about having sex with Tory Lanez. Let me just be honest. She just didn't want niggas to know she fucked him. She just didn't want people to know that he got it. I can respect that. There's a lot of women who sit up here and be like, we've all had that one person that we were just like, bro, I don't think I want to tell nobody about this. And some of us have been like, we erased that person from history. We Thanos snapped these people. And for us to sit up here and judge and be so judgmental about something that really isn't our business. And if I'm being honest, I'm tired of it. It's done. What's done is done. If we want to be all the way 100 with each other, nobody in that whole case has been telling the truth. Tory lied, Kelsey lied, Meg lied. Everybody done lied in that case. Ain't nobody done told the truth about none of this stuff. It's not her lies didn't get Tory put in prison. Tory getting shitty representation got Tory in prison. Get better lawyers, nigga. I.e. Thugger. Get lawyers that's going to care. He was so cocky and confident that he was going to get off that he ended up making the biggest mistake in his life by hiring some of the dumbest lawyers in the world that didn't help him out. So that's not all on Meg. That's a Tory mistake. That nigga fucked up. Again, nobody wanted to tell the truth in this whole case because they were protecting shit. Or Black Lives Matter. We didn't want to see another black man shot. Bullshit. It just got to a point to where like all of this shit is just so ridiculous that I can't even believe it anymore. I'm done with it. The only reason why I brought it to the show is because there's so many people who are being hypocritical online, and it's just disgusting how some of y'all get y'all shit off and knowing good and well you've done the exact same shit. Well, at least I didn't put nobody in jail. No, Tory put himself in jail. He put himself in prison because he, again, hired the wrong representation. I'm just pleading with you guys. Can we get past this? Can we let it go? Can we let it die? I don't know Meg from a can of paint. I know her sexual history. I know she likes to fuck. I know that she has been on so many different platforms pronouncing, just talking about what she likes to do and why she does these things. And I'm over it. I'm tired of having so much access to these artists because if we're being honest, the access that we have is just things in the group chat that we don't want to know about. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. I want the music, bro. I don't want to know y'all's personal life because at the end of the day, none of y'all would spit on me if I was on fire. That's just the God honest truth. We have so much access to these people who don't care about us, and we have so many different opinions about these people who don't give two shits about us. They go out and make music, they drop their little social media stuff about the fans, they get into their Halloween costumes, and they're done. Fuck that shit. Can we let this Tory Meg thing go in 2025? Lord knows I'm tired of it. And yes, I do know that is something that she hangs her hat on to be able to get fans on her side. I'm not stupid, but I also know that some of y'all are so triggered by some bullshit that ain't got shit to do with you that it's fucking ridiculous. Let it go. Stop writing your think pieces on fucking Twitter and just listen to the music. Can we just get back to the music? Jesus. That's it, man. That's all I got for this week. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe today. It's very easy. Just hit the subscribe button, like, share, all the good things. And make sure you guys are commenting. I can't have intellectual hip hop conversations if you guys don't comment on the videos. And make sure you guys are liking the news breaks. The news breaks are very important because I want to continue. I want to do it daily. I can't do it daily if I don't have the support behind it. So if you guys like the news, make sure you liking it. If you have comments about the news stuff that we have, put those comments there. Just let us know that you're around, because if we do, I have to justify doing the news daily, because that's a lot of work for all of us. So please let us know what you think about the news on the news videos. Also, Patreon. Join the Patreon. My Patreon has Hip Hop Survival Guide. I just dropped one about the Ghetto Boys, and I do all kinds of any bonus content goes to the Patreon before it goes here. I did my Chronocopia critique on Patreon first. I think I'm gonna start doing those critiques early, and you'll get them on the show when you'll get them on the show. So I'm going to start doing a lot more content there with just picking up a camera and just talking about different music things, and it'll come to the YouTube channel later. But if you want to get these things first, you got to go to the Patreon. It's only $1 entry fee. Easy peasy. Thank you guys for everything, and I'll catch you next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.